Hello and welcome to the first video of my LEC 2024 preview series where we're going to cover all 10 teams. If you notice on my channel, I also have LPL videos. I will have LCK and LCS also. So become a subscriber, join the Discord so you get notified of my uploads. First, like I said, we're going to cover Fnatic, a team that has been pretty successful the last few years. Got to Worlds this year. Despite a really rough winter, the new regular season system and just scheduling in general allowed them to sneak in, and they were actually pretty competitive. Last 3 years, 2021, 20 and 16 in the regular season, 2022, 23 and 13, and then last year actually 13 and 14 in the regular season. But got the job done. Got enough season points or the championship points, or whatever the hell, and were able to go on a run in the season finals and get to Worlds. A team that definitely got better over time. I screwed up, actually. I just realized I forgot to put Wonder up here. So, the team's moves. Dropped Wonder, let Trimby go. Trimby, I think, is better than June, but I could see why they did this move. I think it's the communication deal. Trimby, in my opinion, is a top maybe 3 support in the West. As far as additions, they added June and allowed Wonder to leave, which I just said. Wonder is now in Heretics, Trimby unemployed. Average age of this roster, 22.2 years old. Oscarinen, 20 years old, is the only player that is below that average age. A good rookie season. He got better over time. These stats are only summer and beyond, because if I include all of stats from Game of Legend, we end up getting some ERL stats, and I wanted to avoid that. So in 37 games, he had a 3.1 KDA, 7.7 CS per minute, 56.8 KP. Are these numbers great? No. But like I said, he got better over time, and I thought he was very good prior to his injury. 20.3 gold share, 450 damage per minute, 19.2% of damage on the team. Down 140 gold, but up 4 CS, 100 XP, 7 solo kills, 11 champions played. His 3 most played champions, K'Sante, Ornn, and Poppy, 54% of the games. So, that's significant, right? The reason why we have low CS, the reason why we have low gold and low damage, he played a weak side, tankier role, not very carry oriented, which is honestly best for this team. And the way it's built, a more carry oriented jungler in mid lane means that top lane kind of has to fall on the sword a bit, and it also takes the pressure off of the rookie. He had some Olaf games that you wish he had back, the Jacks as well, and they've resorted to Ornn duty, Poppy duty, things like that, and I think that's fine. We'll see if he can, start to add some decent carry games this year to his repertoire. Razork, 23 years old in the jungle. 75 games played, 3.3 KDA, 5.6 CS per minute, 76.4 KP, very active. The team fought as Razork led the way in over 3 out of every 4 kills achieved. 19.3 gold share, 423 damage per minute with 17.8% of damage. Kind of goes to show you, right? He almost dealt as much damage as his top laner. On average, gapping his opponents. This includes Worlds numbers. 135 gold, 8 CS, 175 XP. At 15 minutes, he gets ahead of his opponent. Excuse me, by the way. So, a guy that can find opportunities, find leads, and what he does with it after, but he finds a way. 6 solo kills, 15 champions played. Sejuani, Maokai, Ivern are his most played. They account for 43% of his games. In mid lane, we have Humanoid, an underrated mid laner. I think he's world class. He showcases that every international event that he can match the best of the best in the first 15 minutes. And I think that's a really big deal to me. I think that says a lot about a player, that he can literally keep up. He's not in a hole at 15 minutes. And then the team loses team fights because Western teams can't navigate a team fight as well as an Eastern team. But, that is what it is. So 75 games played, 3.2 KDA, 8.8 CS per minute, 68.9 KP. Very good numbers for a mid laner. 23 gold share, that's a lot for a mid. 702 damage per minute, which was 30.1% of the team's damage. He was the carry. You're not going to find many teams with the mid laner getting the bulk of the damage, especially this big of a chunk. 30% is a lot for anybody, and a mid laner especially. He is purely carry oriented at his finest. Another thing to note, despite having good CS and gold, at 15 minutes, like I said, he keeps up with his opponents, but he's not gapping them, right? He just stays even or so. Up 10 gold, 1 CS, down 50 XP. Like, that's negligible. But going even, that's fine. 11 solo kills, 17 champions played. Azir, Jace, Syndra accounting for just under half of the games. Bot lane, we have Noah, 22 years old. A lot of people giving Noah his flowers, and I think that's fair. I mean, he didn't die a lot, especially early on in his career in the LEC. But you got to keep in mind, he wasn't a rookie. A lot of people think, oh, because he's in the LEC the first time he's a rookie. No, he played a split in the LCK with KT Roaster. And you got to imagine that level of play was a little tougher than this one. Got dumped, went to ERLs, came up with Fnatic, and he gives me the vibe of a Korean import 80 carry. Doesn't have high resources, isn't gapping his opponents in terms of that, but wins team fights when it matters. Now, when he goes international, we saw he doesn't quite, match up. Now, we'll see if with maybe a different support if that changes. 5.1 KDA, 9.3 CS per minute, 72.2 KP. Fight around him. He may not have a ton of gold, but he can hands diff his opponent. 23.9 gold share, 6.13 damage per minute, only 26% of the team's damage. Like I said, a little more passive. He's not carrying for the team. Down 140 gold, 4 CS, 70 XP. That's not good either. If your import 80 carry is not getting ahead of the domestic opposition, that's a bit concerning. 8 solo kills, 9 champions played. Aphelios, Xayah, Kesa, 65%. But like I said, and I'm going to keep saying, we're going to see if the communication was part of the issue. And now with June, maybe he has an opportunity to feel more comfortable and feel more aggressive and find angles and things like that. So June, 23 years old, played with KDF last year, Kwangdong Freaks, would end up losing his job to Andal. A lot of people want to blame Taeyun. I think Taeyun and June had played together before, so it wasn't like it was a brand new 80 carry alongside him. 42 games, 2.6 KDA, 68.8 KP, 223 damage per minute. The bulk of these 42 games came in spring, so that was a more offensive meta for supports. Had a 3-4 vision score and placed under 7 wards every 5 minutes. So that's a really good vision score for the wards placed. But like I said, to keep in mind, probably 2/3 of these games were in spring when it was more advantageous to find vision as a support. A control ward every other minute, 2 wards cleared every 5 minutes, 12 champions played. Karma, Heimer, and Lulu were his 3 most played champions. 48% of the game, so almost half of his games were on Karma, Heimer, Lulu. You're not going to find many supports with that trio going through this whole preview series, because Karma was not a most played for pretty much anybody, and then Heimer is up there, and Heimer wasn't viable all season long. He was just viable at the beginning, and then maybe even at the very end at Worlds, if you could argue that. So I mean, he's probably the only guy that had Karma as his most played, honestly. I said, very few, but he's probably the only one. So that's for the roster. Nightshare is the coach, 22-41 in the regular season over his career. 16-17 in playoffs, regional finals, things like that, individual games, and then 4-5 in his career internationally. So we'll see if he can take the next step with this team leading the way. And that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.